That shit gonna make me bored. That's the type of shit that made me bored.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny, and in this video I'll be talking about none other than the Burma Barbie Alandria and the Swimsuit Illustrated launch that happened over the course of 3 days in New York. So please like, please share, please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comments. Alright, so pull up a chair. We have a lot to talk about because Alandria just had the most wonderful 3 days I can just imagine for her, being the new rookie for Swimsuit Illustrated. So the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 2026 launch party took place on Thursday, May 14th, and Alandria joined the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit family at the Hard Rock Hotel in New York for the official launch party and celebration, and she walked the carpet. And our little Ola doll, Alandria hearts, we're so happy to see our girl back on the carpet. I don't know about y'all, but I missed Alandria on that carpet. All right, she was in a kind of a swimsuit top with sheer brown Bronx and Branco gown from the 2026 spring summer collection, and you know, the cutouts on the dress, she looked amazing. And those abs, y'all see those abs? Y'all see those abs, right? And the brown fits her skin tone perfectly. But the highlight moment, oh my God, her and Esther stumbled on something, right? And I know this is gonna become trend, but I'm gonna discuss that later. But the body highlight drove me crazy. I don't know about y'all, but it drove me crazy. And I absolutely love when her makeup artist adds that detail, you know what I mean? It's kind of like now it's kind of becoming her signature look, and I love it. So she stopped the chat with People magazine and revealed that Nick really loved the Swimsuit Illustrated photos, and you know, she didn't get an opportunity to share those pics with him because she didn't get the pics. And so when they came out, he was like mad excited for her. He was over the moon and kept on sending her all the pics. So he's just as excited for Alandria as Alandria is excited for anything Nick, right? Now, speaking of Nick, while he was in Europe doing God knows what, I'd love to know what he was up to. He popped up on Threads to let everybody know, right, that he was still locked in and keeping up with Alandria. So her swimsuit illustrated red carpet look dropped, and we were all barking.
Oh, that shit gonna make me bored. That's the type of shit that made me bored.
Oh my God, ever since that video came out about Nick barking, oh my God, we were all like in the comments salivating over Alandria because yes, we missed her. And he was like right on time talking about if your man's not barking for you, he's not really into you. He just popped in like, I swear to God, Nick knows how to interact with us as the fans because he's on Threads, he's on social media lurking, so he knows what we're talking about all the time, so he can, like, you know, feed into the frenzy of it all and just kiki with us. I know they both love to kiki. It's just so sad that they have to like control it way more, you know what I mean, and like manage and control how they interact with us. But I know, like, if they could, they would just be on a social media with us just for the key, you know what I mean? So that was fun to see. Now, what I also want to talk about is Olandria did the Swimsuit Illustrated Social Club Microsoft panel. I think there were two panel stands. There was one with all the models, and you know, they just had like a question and answer segment for all of them, for people to get to know them better, and some games and whatever. The panel that Alandria was on, I think we didn't really get to see much of Ola in her element, but with other models. But when they kind of like just had two models on the panel along with the Microsoft representative, then we got to really see Ola shine. So that's the portion that I really want to get into.
Just know that your story is still being written. I'm going to still clap for those that are still winning, because God is in my neighborhood. He's somewhere around here. Just know your winning season is around the corner.
So She attended that panel alongside her fellow model, and the panel was hosted in partnership with Microsoft, and joining her was Joey, head of creator at Microsoft. And when I tell you, Alandria showed up to that panel like a seasoned professional. Oh my god, she was amazing. She spoke about her approach to content creation, and this stood out to me so much. She talked about not doing trends for the sake of doing trends. She said she prefers to stay authentic to herself and focus on posting things that are actually going to build and push her brand forward, and that tracks completely every time with everything that we've seen from her, right? She is not out here chasing every audio and every TikTok dance. She's very strategic, she's very intentional, and we can clearly see that in how she's curating her social media and how professional it actually looks. She also talked about how selective she is when it comes to brand partnerships. It has to elevate her brand, it has to align with who she is and where she's going, and she is focused on long-term partnerships, not just one-off checks. Those are good, but when you can have longevity in the business, that's even better. So she's thinking about building a legacy and not just being in this moment, and that's the kind of right mindset to have, the mindset of a CEO. And then Joey, while talking about partnerships and whatnot, he revealed that Alandria pitched herself. Like, she came into the room and it sounded as though she just like came up on them, and then she took the moment to pitch herself in that moment, right? So her agency didn't pitch her for this gig, she pitched herself, right? She identified the opportunity, she understood the value that she could bring, and she went after it. So she partnered with Microsoft Copilot to spotlight the history of Tuskegee University and the broader importance of HBCUs. And she said that partnering with Microsoft actually changed her life. And when you think about the doors of partnership that level opens, especially for someone like Alandria, from a small country girl from Alabama, that is a big deal. And people act like Alandria just appeared on Love Island and got lucky, and while that might be true, what we didn't see was everything, as she said, everything that she's been through up to this moment. So she is a first generation college graduate from Tuskegee, as we all know, and she studied logistics and supply chain management, and she went on to work in elevator sales, in B2B sales. So before any of this fame ever happened, she has been in rooms with decision makers, she's been making pitches, she has been closing deals. So this is not a new skill set for Alandria, this is who she's always been, and this fame has just given her kind of a platform to showcase who she's always been and the work that she's had to put into herself over the years to now be at this stage. So sometimes this highlights, like, when we are going through what we're going through in life, we don't realize the skills that we're building during those moments, and it's when we get to the other side that we realize, oh my god, this was what all of that was building up to, and you had to go through that in that moment to get to this place now where you can show up confidently and just soar and take advantage of opportunities that come your way. So we're absolutely seeing all of those skills that Alandria has built, especially in corporate, and she's utilizing it now to take herself to higher heights. And I want to mention this because we saw a panel a while back with Shelly, and let's just say she wasn't the best on that panel. She seemed kind of a bit spaced out, and she wasn't understanding the question. She had to ask them to repeat the questions a lot, and the answers that she gave weren't cohesive and coherent, and people got to arguing in comments about comparing Alandria and Shelly, and people were saying that, season 7 Islanders tend to copy a lot of what they see Alandria doing, not knowing that, Alandria was kind of made for this, you know what I mean? And that's why she's rising and shining, and they're following in her footsteps, but they can't necessarily bring the same output. And people are tussling in the comments about Alandria just having a degree in supply chain management and Shelly not completing college, I think. And they were just highlighting the differences in what Alandria had the skill set that she's had versus Shelly. And we, on this panel, we clearly saw, Alandria just being in command of that room and that space. I was quite impressed just seeing it in action. I mean, we get to see it all the time with her on panel, but there was just something different about her on this Microsoft panel. You know what I mean? Yeah, so some of the other Islanders, they need to find their other lane and not try to do what they see Alandria doing. Not that Alandria can monopolize, as I said before, a space or whatever, but she's meant to do this. And sometimes when you try to force yourself into a space that's not for you, it shows, you know? So yeah, as I was saying, not everybody's meant to sit on a panel and hold the room. Alandria can do that because she's been quote-unquote training for it by life, by education, years in corporate, selling elevators to people in suits. She's not new to knowing what it takes to walk into a room full of C-suite executives and command their attention. She might be new to the entertainment and fashion space, but she's not new to business. And that's what sets her apart. She also highlighted higher education and career development at multiple speaking engagements and using her platform to bridge the gap for HBCUs. And it's not just a good brand move, it's genuinely important to her. And these institutions can oftentimes be overlooked and underfunded and underrepresented. And having someone with Olandria'S reach and shine to shine a light on them through a partnership with a company like Microsoft, that can be severely impactful, and it goes a long way in building Olandria'S legacy. So she sat on the panel with confidence, with a strong sense of self and zero apologies, knowing her worth. And when Nick says he loves how much of a boss she is and how grown she is, this is what he sees every day. And now we're getting a chance to see more of Alandria, right? Now, let's talk a bit about what's on the horizon for Alandria, because we got a little bit of info from her interviews, and it's giving exciting. I'm excited for what she got coming up. So we got hints that she has a cover shoot coming up, and I want y'all to drop in the comments, what are your guesses? I'm thinking Vogue. I'm hoping it's Vogue. Because here why I'm hoping that. She was snubbed from the Met Gala. Now we know Vogue is involved with the Met Gala, and I would love to see her Met Gala look on a Vogue cover. Wouldn't that just be freaking epic? I mean, that would be a good quote-unquote trade-off, because if she wasn't at the Met and now she's getting the opportunity to be on Vogue because they feel bad for what they did to her, our girl. Not saying that Vogue did anything to our girl, but I'm just saying they work with the Met, so you know what I mean. I really hope it's Vogue. Also, in another one of her interviews, she mentioned that she would love to have her own reality show, and I need you guys to comment again, what kind of show would you want for Alandria? I could see so many things, you know. It could be a solo docuseries following her career, her home renovation, travel content, lifestyle series, I mean fashion with Matthew and Reggie, or show with even her and Nick together. I don't know, what are you guys thinking in the comments? And we also know she just bought her penthouse, Miss Penthouse Alandria, and she's looking to remodel, right, her home. So I would love to see her partner with some home decor brand to help her make you know, her dream home a reality. So I'd really love to see that. And then HGTV could come in and, you know, document it and just give us a mini series with that. There's so much potential, and we literally sit and watch all of it. We can't get enough of Alandria. So yes, give us all the TV shows. Let me know down in the comments. Now I'm circling back to the highlight that I mentioned earlier. This body highlight situation that Olandria and Esther started is tea, and I want to let the record know it's tea and we love it. I think the first time I noticed it was when she did the Robert One look at the Paris Haute Couture, and she was in the red jumpsuit kind of dress-ish look with the gloves and the hat, and we saw the peak of the red highlight, red pinkish whatever color that was, highlight on her collarbone. That was everything, and she's been consistent in highlighting some part of her body. And guess what, I'm here for it. We're all here for it, and her and Esther are onto something. But you know what? I bet you some other person is going to start doing it, and it's going to become a trend, and they're going to give that person credit for it, and Alandria and Esther are probably not going to get the credit. But I just want the record to show that this highlight on the body part thing, I'm not sure if it started with Esther, if she was the first person who did it, but when we started to notice it was when Esther did it on Alandria and on her clients. So I just wanted to mention that, just in case anybody decided they wanted to take the idea and co-opt it for themselves, as we know they love to do, right? So I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment about what you think. I don't want this to be any longer. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for engaging with me and my content. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm gonna do the next video about 404 because she's crazy. She's crazy and she needs help. See you in the next video.